Public-private company GAAP. U.S. public and non-public companies are generally subject to the same set of accounting standards, GAAP, with certain exceptions permitted for private companies. Public entity is defined in the codification as a business or not-for-profit entity that is required to file financial statements with the SEC, issues publicly traded debt or equity, or provides financial statements for the purpose of issuing any class of securities in a public market. Non-public entities are generally defined as entities not having the characteristics of a public company. While used frequently in practice, the term private company is generally not used in the codification. Private companies have long argued that full compliance with GAAP is too burdensome given their different level of available resources and differences in their stakeholders' needs. Historically, some private companies have chosen to prepare non-GAAP financial statements, while others have opted to receive qualified opinions from their auditors. Many lenders have chosen to accept these financial statements or waive certain GAAP requirements because they recognize that compliance can cause burdens, that many GAAP standards lack relevance for these companies. In 2012, the Financial Accounting Foundation created the Private Company Council in an effort to alleviate some of this complexity. The Private Company Council, working with the FASB, has created private company accounting alternatives in the codification. Application of these alternatives is optional. Going forward, the Private Company Council will continue to advise the FASB on private company perspectives related to emerging issues. The AICPA introduced another private company alternative in 2013, the Financial Reporting Framework for Small and Medium-Sized Entities. This framework is intended to streamline the preparation of financial statements where a clean audit opinion is not required. This is a non-GAAP framework, also known as Other Comprehensive Bases of Accounting. From the FASB issued a press release November 18, 2015, stating, "The Private Company Council is the primary advisory body to the FASB on private company matters. The PCC uses private company decision-making framework to advise the FASB on the appropriate accounting treatment for private companies for items under active consideration on the FASB's technical agenda. The PCC also advises the FASB on possible alternatives within GAAP to address the needs of users of private company financial statements." Take time to look at the website to see more information about the Private Company Council. The challenge for Accounting 2375 is to keep up with private company GAAP alternatives. Do this as you work with the Financial Accounting Standards Codification, the ASC, or as we should call it, just the codification. Take time to read this great article from the Journal of Accountancy, Private Company GAAP Alternatives Could Unlock Savings.